when you're suing a huge corporation, chances are if they lose, they're going to pay. Those corporations are more likely to settle a case because they know that if they lose, it's, maybe it'll be public, maybe it'll be a bigger number. So they're more likely to settle the case. They also take a much more business approach to it. They're also thinking about how much am I going to spend defending this thing, and factor that into
they're
whether
not getting emotional. They're
Right.
being strategic.
Right. So when you're suing a business and you're suing, a viable business, let's call it one that is still making money, it's an easier decision of whether or not to sue, leaning towards yes. When you're thinking about suing that contractor that you think might be on drugs that stopped showing up and took your 12 grand, yeah, we could sue him. We might never be able to find him. And even if we find him and you get a judgment against him, he might not have a penny to pay you back from. And so even if you win, you still lose.
So, but are you saying that there is no value? Because I will say that there's a little bit of the, ironically, going back to emotions, the emotional value of going, I've gotten a judgment against this person and I know that's going to follow them. And maybe that was at least the goal. Like, yes, I'd want my money back. I know I'm not going to get my money back, but I want to at least have done something to make sure this person can't keep doing this to others. To that extent, what is your opinion on judgments and how to value a judgment against, another party?
Excellent question. And there's a lot of thought process that goes into that. So let's just tie this back to the beginning, because I'm raising the question of, is this person someone we can collect money from, for the analysis that you should be doing of to sue or not to sue. Okay. So if the person is not somebody you can collect money from, that's just, another mark on the not sue. And so, yes, you can sue somebody on principle, and I've seen it, I've done it, I've been there, especially on larger numbers, right? Maybe you might not sue somebody on principle for $5,000. For some people, it's a lot of money, but you might want to sue somebody on principle for $500,000.
Right.
And to make sure this person never does it again. And so I'm just talking about collectability from what category are we putting this into? But to your point on collecting on judgments, yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can collect on judgments. We personally don't do it. We usually refer it out because it's a very messy process. But there's some things that we call being judgment proof to some extent, and we'll usually do some research on the people that we're about to sue before we sue them. And the thoughts we have are this. We call people judgment proof. If you have a tax lien for hundreds of thousands of dollars for unpaid taxes, me suing you is not going to change anything for anyone. I will not recover any money from you. If other people already have judgments for hundreds of thousands of dollars against you, you'll just be another judgment along the line of 20 other judgments. And we've seen them. There's people that unfortunately are unsavory individuals and they don't pay anybody back and they have judgments against them and there's nothing you can do. Another reason or another, judgment proof thing or category is that somebody could be judgment proof because they're married and all of their assets are in their wife's name. And if you get a judgment against one individual, you're not going to be able to collect on any assets that are owned by that individual and their wife.
I think that, Anton, this is a phenomenal thing to share because you're giving folks that information that they need. Like, look, you're an attorney. Your business is to get cases, right? And so we have a whole episode dedicated to the idea of, is it worth pursuing this, right? Because it's important to for the things you said, to filter out and vet what are the cases that are worth pursuing, what are the opportunities for damages that are worth pursuing versus the ones that maybe aren't. And that is going to make the difference from an experience when you're working with an attorney of turning back and going,